Hi, good evening to one and all. I am Vinoda, lecturer in chemistry at MALD GDC Gadwal. So today I am discussing about valence band theory. In 1931, Linus Pauling had developed valence bond theory to explain the nature of bonds in coordination compounds. The main postulates of valence band theory are as follows. The central metal ion in the complex compound makes available a sufficient number of empty orbitals for the formation of coordinate bonds with suitable ligands. The number of empty orbitals made available for the purpose is equal to the coordination number of the central metal ion. The appropriate atomic orbitals of the metal ion hybridized to give an equal number of two new orbitals of equivalent energy called hybrid orbitals. The hybrid orbitals are directed towards the ligand positions according to the geometry of the complex. If Nd orbitals are involved in the hybridization, the complex is called as an outer orbital complex. If n-1 d orbitals are involved in hybridization, it is called as the inner orbital complex. The ligand should contain at least one orbital containing a lone pair of electrons to donate into empty hybridized metal ion orbitals. The empty hybrid orbitals of the metal ion overlap with the fully filled orbitals of the ligand to form ligand metal coordinate bond. The number of bonds formed varies with the number of empty orbitals made available by the central ion. The formation of the coordination compound is considered as an interaction between an acid and base. The central metal ion acts as Lewis acid and accepts electrons, and the ligands acts as Lewis base and donate electron pairs to the central metal atom to form coordination compound. If a substance does not contain unpaired electron, it is said to be diamagnetic. On the other hand, a substance which contains one or more unpaired electrons is said to be paramagnetic. Knowing the magnetic behavior, it is possible to predict the number of unpaired electrons, the type of hybridization involved in the complex formation, and hence its geometry. Alternatively, if the geometry of the complex form is known, the magnetic properties of the complex, the number of unpaired electrons present in the complex can be predicted. The geometry of the coordination compound and the type of hybridization of the orbitals of the central metal ion are closely related to their relationship is presented in the table given below. The relationship between the geometry and the hybridization. If the coordination number is 2, the hybridization is sp and the geometry of the molecule is linear. And the example is diamine silver complex AgNH3 taken twice plus. If the coordination number is 3, then the hybridization is sp2. Then the geometry of the molecule is trigonal planar. Example, triiodomercurate Hgi3 minus. If the coordination number is equal to 4, then the hybridization of the molecule is sp3 and the geometry of the molecule is tetrahedral. The example for this is tetracarbonyl nickel NiCO taken 4 times, and the coordination number is equals to 4, then the hybridization is dsp2 and the geometry of the molecule is square planar. The example for this complex is tetramine platinum plus 2 complex. If the number of coordination number is equals to 5, then the hybridization of the molecule is sp3d, and then the geometry of the molecule is square pyramidal. The example for this complex is sp(F5) minus 2, and if the coordination number is 5, then other hybridization possible here is tsp3, and the shape of the molecule is trigonal bipyramidal. Example for this complex is FeCO taken 5 times, that means pentacarbonyl iron complex. If the coordination number is equals to D2sp3 or sp3d2, the geometry of the molecule is octahedral, and the example for this complex is hexacyanoferrate 3 complex. The valence band theory explains the stereochemical and magnetic properties of the coordination compounds. The formation of complex compounds occur in the following steps. The ground state electronic configuration of the central metal atom is considered as a ground state atom. The metal atom loses electrons as per valence requirement and is considered as ground state of the ion. The electronic configuration of the central metal ion gets excited and the electrons in the metallic orbitals to get rearranged. The metal ion orbitals undergo hybridization to form the number of empty hybrid orbitals that equals to the coordination number of central metal atom. The orbitals of the ligands containing lone pairs of electrons overlap with the empty hybrid orbitals of the central metal ion. In this process, the electron pairs are transferred from the ligands to the empty hybrid orbitals of the metal ion and form metal ligand bond in the formation of the complex compound. In the valence band theory treatment, the orbitals are designated as circles and the electrons are indicated by half arrows. The orbitals involved in hybridization are enclosed within a rectangular box. The geometries corresponding to the coordination numbers 4 and 6 of the central metal ion that can be explained according to the valence bond theory as follows. In tetrahedral complexes, for example, tetramine nickel complex, the central metal atom is nickel. It has a 3d8 4s2 outer electronic configuration. The nickel 2 ion has 3d8 configuration and according to Hund's rule process, 2 unpaired electrons. In ground state, nickel has a 3d8 4s2 configuration. In +2 oxidation state, the two electrons are removed from 4s orbital. In +2 oxidation state, that is in excited state, the 2 electrons are removed from the outer orbital, that is 4s orbital. Hence, the 4s orbital is empty. So, that means 4s and 4p orbitals are empty. So, they can participate in hybridization with amine ligands. So, amine ligand can donate the electron pairs to the 4s orbital and 4p orbital. So, here they can undergo in sp3 hybridization. The experimental results showed that the complex ion is paramagnetic with two unpaired electrons. In tetramine nickel plus 2 complex, sp3 hybridization results in the tetrahedral geometry of the complex ion.